Hey everyone, it's Jay again, coming to you from Edmonton Comics inside West Edmonton Coin and Stamp here at West Edmonton Mall. Yes, I do own more than one shirt. If you'd like to see them all, you can find me on Facebook. And yeah, because I actually cataloged all of my t-shirts. I'm a nerd. Anyway, coming back to you today to talk to you about some other comics that you might want to check out. We're still kind of looking on the angle of comics that have been transformed into TV shows or movies, things that you may or may not have heard of. But we're also going to look today at some that have come back the other way, things that have started out on the small screen and ended up in comic book form. I'm going to start out today with this collection of a comic series called The Old Guard. What's the Old Guard, you might ask? Well, good question. The Old Guard is a small handful of immortals who've been alive for centuries and centuries, kind of acting as soldiers and mercenaries, but always keeping their immortality a secret. However, in the 21st century, there's not a really good way to keep secrets anymore, and they have to struggle really, really hard to figure out how to keep their secrets undercover and still continue to what they do and to live. Very, very cool story, super dark and edgy. Recently picked up in the summer of 2020 by Netflix and made into a film. Definitely worth checking out. Now, coming back the other way, I'm going to look at some TV shows that are making their way onto the page. And the first one we're going to look at is The Orville. Now, The Orville, for those of you who don't know, is kind of like a play off of Star Trek. Not really a spoof so much, but just kind of like a slight tweaking or an alternative view to the Star Trek mythos, as it were. It received a lot of critical attention and got a lot of great reviews, sometimes a little mixed because the jokes tend to hit and miss, but overall seems pretty well received. So of course, whenever something does fairly well on television, it comes over to a comic book. Now, for those of you who think, wow, that just seems like a really weird thing to do, TV shows being made into comics is something that's been going on well back since comic books first started. Through the 40s and 50s, there were actually a lot of publishers that would take very popular TV shows and actually produce comics about them. Quite often the stories would be in between scenes or in between episodes of TV shows, and that's kind of what The Orville does too. When you pick this up, you're not going to be getting a rehash of something you've already seen, you're going to get a brand new story. So if you're a fan of the show, for a couple of bucks, yeah, you might want to check out The Orville. The other book that I want to show you guys today is some Rick and Morty comics. Now, there's been a lot of Rick and Morty comics over the last few years, and it's something that's almost tailored to be a comic book, right? Starts out as a cartoon, almost pretty straightforward to bring it right over to the printed page. There are several different Rick and Morty series, sometimes one-shots, so sometimes you can just grab a single issue of Rick and Morty, check it out, see if it's something you like or want to continue on with. And if you're a fan, maybe you want to add it to your collection and keep your collection growing. But whatever the taste may be, if you stop into the store, myself or one of my coworkers can take you right over to the Rick and Morty section, show you a handful of different comics and let you choose for yourself. One of the very nice things they do about the book is that they keep the visual aesthetic super close to the TV show. The artwork, the art style is almost identical. So if you are a fan for the show, you're not going to feel any kind of weird, strange detachment to the comic book. It's pretty much you're just picking up where the TV leaves you off. So those are 3 recommendations we got for this episode. Hopefully you'll come down to Edmonton Comics and in West Edmonton Mall here, check us out. Like I said, talk to myself, one of my coworkers, we'd be happy to help you out, pick out the comic for your reading.